जय उमापति महादेव की जय बिंद्रावन बिहारी लाल की जय आज शक्ति जगदम्बा देवी मैया की जय श्री पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय सबको जय सीताराम. Let me extend a very warm, very cordial welcome to each and everyone this morning. We're physically congregated here at the Mandir on 43rd Street, San Fernando. A special welcome is also extended to all persons who are viewing us on YouTube and on Facebook. This morning, this very beautiful Sunday morning, we come together as we offer our love and our adorations to Bhagwan. As we do so, we offer thanks and gratitude for all of the blessings bestowed upon us. We also offer prayers for persons who may be having difficulties with their health or otherwise, and we pray for their full recovery. Persons who may have suffered a recent loss in their family or with their loved ones, we indeed offer prayer and blessings to them. We invite everyone to stand as we engage in invocation this morning. As we clasp our hands, we gaze at the murtis before us, and whichever form we find most endearing, most appealing, we rest our gaze on that particular form, and then close our eyes as we go within, as we invoke the presence of Bhagwan within each and every one of us. Hari Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Om Shri Saraswate Namah. Om Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namaha. Vagratunda Mahakal Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Guru Me Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvara Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swudha Namostute Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishna Mandir Jagadguru Nagindra Haraya Trilochanaya Bhasmangaragaya Maheshwaraya Nityaya Shuddhaya Digambaragaya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandra Mavirase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaye Pataye Namaha. Om Manojava Marutulya Vegyam Jetindriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanadyutamukam Shri Ramadutam Shri Namami. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Dear, let's resume our seats as we can engage in Kirtan this morning. We offer obeisance to Ganesh Bhagwan as we glorify Ganesh Ji.
Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai. Ganapati Vigna Vinashana Hari, Ganapati Vigna Vinashana Hari, Ganapati Vigna Vinashana Hari,
जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय।
मोदक लीत दीत जननी जब तुम झलकनु पुर झनकारे।
मोदक लीत दीत जननी जब ठुमक झलक नूपुर झनकारे।
रिधि सीधी दो चवर दुलावत
रिधि सीधी दो चवर दुलावत।
सुर समूह लखी होत सुखाड़े। गणपति विघ्न विनाशन हारे। गणपति विघ्न विनाशन हारे। गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणेश जय गणपति जय जय।
प्रेम से बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। I must extend our apologies this morning. We have switched over to a new system. Unfortunately, the setting of this was done yesterday when our group was not here. And so we are trying to iron out a few technical difficulties. I will ask the operator, those in the back, if you could just come out of the room so that you could hear what's happening in the room, in the hall of the Mandir. I will ask the group individually to go through your mics, whether it be your harmonium mic, the vocal mics, and the tabla mics, as well as the violin, so that we could just spend 2 minutes and get this sorted out now. Right, so if we could just see what's happening in terms of, so my mic is fine, I'm okay. If we can ask Neela to start from her end with the vocal, just tell us what mic number it is so that they are aware.
This is mic number 1.
If we can increase the volume on mic number 1.
No, what happened? This thing was not on.
Alright, so we're being told that the monitor was not on and it is now turned on, and that was the cause of the problem. Could we just run through the mics then before you adjust the volumes?
This is mic 1.
Is that good enough? Is the volume on that good enough?
Yes, it's fine.
Testing 4.
No, that's 3. Stage 1 and 1 B.
Oh, 3.
What 1 less?
Testing. Number 6. Testing.
Number 6 was the last mic tested. Yeah, we're getting some feedback on something there. Again, my apologies for interrupting the service in this manner, but we really need to get this sorted out before we continue.
Testing. Number 6. Thank you.
1 less.
Testing number 3.
Excellent. That's fine. Can we get the tabla? All right, I think we sorted out. So we will now, thank you for that accommodation. We will now hand over to the group as we render verses of Hanuman Chalisa. Let us all join together as we offer our love to Mahavir Swami. Let us all clap, let us sing, and let us glorify Hanumanji.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार वरनो रघुबर विमल जसु जो दायक पल चार बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि
ही हरहु कलेश विकार। जय 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 हनुमान, जय 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 हनुमान, जय 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 हनुमान, जय 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 हनुमान। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कबीर तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन वरन विराज सुबेशा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, मोज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुमन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम्हरो जस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद शारद सहित अहिसा। यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कवि को विधि कही सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर पल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मिली मुख माही, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपने तेज संहारो आपे, तीनों लोक आकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर सुरनिकन्दन राम दुआरे अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन नाम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाए जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चेतन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई छूत ही बंध महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा तुलसीदास सदा हरि छेरा ही जय नाथ हृदय महाडेरा जय 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 हनुमान 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 पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभूप सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम
Reams Bole Shri Kabir Swami ki jai, and invite you to access the Bhagavad Gita next to you on the benches. Copies are available there. And because of time this morning, we will not be doing all of the 6 shlokas from the Gita Dhyanam. We'll just recite 2, and then we will move straight into shloka 31. Well, we'll start with 30 from Bhagavad Gita chapter 10. So we're going to chapter 10, shloka 30, and we will go to the end of chapter 10. We don't have any volunteers this morning, so we will be reading together. But prior to commencement of our reading, just 2 shlokas from the Gita Dhyanam that we will recite. Hari Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishna Mandir Jagadguru Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangulandaya Kirim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Paramanandamamaravam Om Shri Krishnai Govindai Namo Namaha. So I'll invite us all to read from shloka 30 straight to the end of chapter 10. We join together. Among the Daitas, I am the great devotee Prahalad, and of calculators I am time. Among quadrupeds I am the lion, and among the birds I am Garud. Among purifiers I am the wind, among wielders of arms I am Shriram. Among fishes I am the shark, and among streams the Ganges. Arjun, I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all creations. Of all knowledge, I am the knowledge of the soul, metaphysics. Among disputants, I am the right type of discussion. Among the sounds represented by the various letters, I am A, the sound represented by the first letter of the alphabet. Of the different kinds of compounds in grammar, I am the copulative compound. I am verily the endless time, the devourer of time, God. I am the sustainer of all, having my face on all sides. I am the all-destroying death that annihilates all and the origin of all that are to be born. Of femininities, I am Kirti, Sri, Vak, Smriti, Medha, Dhirti, and Shama. The goddess presiding over glory, prosperity, speech, memory, intelligence, fortitude, and forbearance, respectively. Likewise, among the Shrutis that can be sung, I am the variety known as Bhratasma, while among the Vedic hymns, I am known as Gayatri. Again, among the 12 months of the Hindu calendar, I am the month known as Margashirsha, corresponding approximately to November, December. And among the 6 seasons successively appearing in India in the course of a year, I am the spring season. I am gambling among deceitful practices and the glory of the glorious. I am the victory of the victorious, the resolve of the resolute, the goodness of the good. I am Krishna among the Vrishnis, Arjun among the sons of Pandu, Vyas among the sages, and the sage Sukacharya among the wise. I am the subduing power of rulers. I am the righteousness in those who seek to conquer. Of things to be kept secret, I am the custodian in the form of reticence, and I am the wisdom of the wise. Arjun, I am even that which is the seed of all life, for there is no creature, moving or unmoving, which can exist without me. Arjun, there is no limit to my divine manifestations. This is only a brief description of me, of the extent of my glory. Every such being as is glorious, brilliant, and powerful, know that to be a part of manifestation of my glory. Or what you will gain by knowing all this in detail, Arjuna. Suffice it to say that I hold this entire universe by a fraction of my yogic power. Thus, in the Upanishad sung by the Lord, the science of Brahma, the scripture of Yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, ends the 10th chapter entitled The Yoga of Divine Glories. Prem se boliye Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. We will forego the meditation as well this morning because again of time. And I would invite the teachers of the children's class to please take the children now to the Bal Vihara class. Children, those of you who are with us, those of you who may even be here for the first time, we invite you to move down with the teachers of the children's class as you join together. I'll ask the group if they could render one short kirtan, a chant before we begin our pravachan and while the children take their leave.
सत्यनारायण गोविंद माधवा, हरि नारायण गोविंद केशवा।
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 सत्यनारायण गोविंद माधवा, हरि नारायण गोविंद केशवा। सत्यनारायण गोविंद माधवा, गोविन्द केशवा
सत्यनारायण गोविन्द माधवा हरिनारायण 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 गोविन्द केशवा
हरिनारायण गोविन्द केशवा
हरिनारायण गोविन्द केशवा
प्रेम से बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, श्री नारायण स्वामी की जय. Jai Sitaram, everyone. Again, for those who would have come in after we commenced this morning, or those who would have joined on YouTube or Facebook, we extend a very warm welcome to each and everyone this morning. As many would be aware, today is our Diwali dinner and evening of entertainment, which is a sold-out event, so all of the tickets have been sold out. So if persons are trying to get tickets this morning or later today, unfortunately, we have to apologize, but all tickets have been completely sold out. We thank those who have patronized for your very generous patronage in terms of this event. So it accounts a little bit for some of the spaces you see next to you. Some of the folks of the teams, various teams, are preparing the hall next door, and persons are otherwise engaged and hence not here this morning. Nonetheless, this morning, Auntie sat together with her relatives and they would have performed Satnarayan Swami Puja, Lakshmi Mata Puja. And this is a very auspicious season where we've just come out of Navratri. Many of us would be witnessing the portrayal of Ramcharitmanas in the form of Ram Leela in many parts of the country, including right here at the Palmist ground, Palmist Park. And it is a wonderful season with much spirituality, much divinity, much sacrifice by many families who perform their puja at this time of year. And with that in mind and with those thoughts, before we begin our pravachan this morning, and having not followed our usual procedure with regard to Bhagavad Gita, I will invite us all to sit upright as we engage in a few moments of contemplation and meditation before our message this morning. I'll invite us to gaze at the murti before us, in particular the murti of Vishnu Bhagwan, the murti of Krishna Bhagwan, and the murti of Lakshmi Mata, or whichever form of Bhagwan that you find most appealing and most endearing. As we engage in our daily existence, we are sometimes faced with challenges of varying kinds. There are times when those challenges may be physical, may be medical. Other times those challenges may be of a mental kind that affects our mind, whether it is anxiety, whether we feel depressed, whether we feel lonely. Whatever be our circumstance, those afflictions are very real, and those afflictions impact upon our physical demeanor and our physical attributes. This morning we surrender ourselves to God, recognizing that it's through the power of God that our thoughts are influenced, that through those thoughts, the way our mind operates and the vagaries that affect either uplifting or bringing us into a state of turmoil are impacted. And through those thoughts, the actions are there performed. The speech is then engaged in. And so this morning, let us first of all focus our thoughts on Bhagwan, and by so doing, to hopefully impact our mind and to impact our thoughts. And this morning I invite us to gaze at the Murti. Let us have that sense of calm within us as we chant that most sacred syllable, Om, 3 times. And as we so do, we breathe in and out in pranayam. And having completed that, we all chant together 21 times that most beautiful mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We engage first in pranayam. Again. Final time. As you visualize that form of Bhagwan in front of us, most merciful, most compassionate. O Prabhu, we come before you as your children. You know our mind, you know our heart, you know our thoughts. You know what lies in store for us in the future. You know the difficulties that we've experienced in the past. And we surrender all of these to you and ask for that realization that we are indeed that spark of divinity. We're indeed that part of you. We are divinity. We are bliss. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Very slowly now, we open our eyes, gazing at the form of Bhagwan before us. rubbing our palms together, passing over our face and entire body, and retaining that divine energy. Prem se bole Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. Satnarayan Swami Puja performed at appropriate times when we want to give thanks, when we want to mark the beginning of some auspicious occasion, or when we simply seek to have the blessing of Bhagwan. This puja is performed at various times, but very traditionally, it has been said that one of the greatest benefits that can be derived in the performance of this puja is on the occasion of Purnima, or full moon. And we ask ourselves, well, why on this occasion and why not on other days? And I've just said that you can perform it on other days. But what is the benefit that is derived on Purnima that makes it a superior or preferable time to perform this puja? That is a question that is often asked. Another question is, what is the benefit of performing this puja and how should it be done? In Skanda Puran, Revakand, Narad Muni, we are told, on one of his journeys went to Mrityalu, that place where we all inhabit. And on his journeys, he observed certain things that caused him a lot of distress. And his observations led him to the condition of man, the beloved devotee of Bhagwan, you and I. And so on his observations, he saw persons who were afflicted and affected by disease, by illness, persons who were impoverished and were in dire poverty, persons who were distressed and facing all sorts of troubles. And when he saw the condition of his devotees, his heart was moved, and he went back to Vishnu Bhagwan to ask of him, O Prabhu, these are your beloved devotees. Why is it they are in so much distress? But more importantly, what could be done to relieve them of this difficulty? And Vishnu Bhagwan, very smilingly and very lovingly, told to Narad Muni about the benefits of performing Satnarayan Swami Puja, about how this could be done or should be done. And this prescription and these questions were also asked of Sutaji Maharaj and others. And the same prescription was given. Vishnu Bhagwan, in essence, said that if one were to sit having had a bath, having put on clean clothes, and having accumulated all of the things that are necessary for puja, the flowers, the leaves, and a little bit of prasad, then perform that puja with love and with devotion. And once that is done in the company of your family members and relatives, and it is done with devotion, then all of the difficulties that a devotee would experience would be removed or would be alleviated. This is what was told by Vishnu Bhagwan to Narad Muni. This is what was related to Sutaji Maharaj and others. And it is by extension that teaching that is communicated to us. The performance of this puja requires very simple ingredients. You would note that Vishnu Bhagwan didn't say that the devotee should put on new clothes. He simply said the devotee should have a bath and put on clean clothes. He did not say about extensive materials and fasting and tapas and vrat that had to be performed, but simply gather together with your family and your friends and perform this puja. And the most important ingredient, which is sometimes very often overlooked, by no one here of course, is that this puja must be performed with love and devotion. That ingredient is oftentimes deliberately or very often inadvertently omitted. And that has to do with how we view things being done in terms of being it done on a grand scale, on being done on a level in which so many preparations are being made for our guests and others that we forget that the focus is the puja. And so oftentimes, again, no one here, when you visit places where pujas are being performed, the yajman who should be sitting and performing puja, the mind is all over. Is the food finished? Sometimes the pot is still chunky when the pandit arrives, and so the entire home is smelling of the takari that is being prepared. Nothing is wrong with that, but then the mind is focused on those things. Is the takari going to be tasty? Is it going to be sufficient? Are my guests all here? Will my guests come on time? Will they be satisfied with the accommodations that I have made for them? And those thoughts are uppermost in our minds, and so we forget that we are focusing on Bhagwan in the performance of our puja. And so very often when puja is performed, I tell persons, forget everyone and forget everything around you and just focus your mind on the deity. Focus your mind on what you are doing and make sure that what you are performing, you are doing with love and you're doing with devotion. And that is telling when you see persons, again, no one here, how they actually do their offerings. Is it that they would take the samagri and offer with love gently, as though they are actually treating with an individual, or is it something that is simply smeared and sprinkled around in a cosmetic way? And that mindset that Narad Muni was told by Vishnu Bhagwan is most critical. That love and that devotion that should be in our heart and in our mind is imperative. Because those thoughts are what guide us in terms of our mind, in terms of our actions, in terms of our general demeanor. It starts there. And so it is that when one performs this puja, the initial step of performing the puja is the decision to do it, which happens weeks and sometimes even months before. It is thereafter the physical preparation by way of fasting and abstinence that takes place leading up to the day. And then on the morning, the mental preparation that I'm performing this puja, and when then you sit with the Pandit and you start with the purificatory mantras, the Pavitrikaran and so on, that is the culmination of what you're doing. And it is important because it then dictates what happens next. And in Skanda Puran, after that prescription was given, then there are many examples that were given to Narad Muni and by Sutaji Maharaj. Many examples that is often told about the poor Brahmin who is impecunious, who didn't have enough money to sustain himself and on a daily basis would go and beg for alms. And that was his daily toil until he was told by another Brahmin that this is what you should do to relieve yourself of this material suffering. And that individual followed the advice that was given to him, that sage advice. And we are told in Katha that his difficulties were removed. Similarly, of the woodcutter, in the same vein, told the same thing, and he too was alleviated of his difficulty. But on the other hand, we are told of that merchant, Sadhuban, who was told that he should perform this puja because he wanted progeny. And being told upon that, he made that decision that, yes, I will do it. And even without having performed that puja yet, but simply having that decision made in his mind, that sankalp, as we would say, he was blessed, he and his wife were blessed with a beautiful daughter. And having had his desires fulfilled, he then forgot about the sankalp that he had made. And the Katha goes on to tell of the dire consequences that befell him and his family because of that grave omission. In Ramcharitmanas, we are told of Prabhu Shri Ram's covenant to fulfill his father's word and the beauty of that fulfillment and the consequences of not doing so. And similarly, in Skanda Puran, for Satnarayan Swami Katha, we are told about the consequences when one does not fulfill their word. And so it was that disaster befell that family. But again, Bhagwan is all merciful, because on recognizing that omission, recognizing that grave error, they once more begged for forgiveness, and God, in all of his mercy, removed that distress. Just yesterday, I was telling someone performing puja that sometimes when we engage in puja, we sometimes think of it as a negotiation. Nobody here, of course. That I'm doing puja and I want this in return. Whether openly we say it or subconsciously we think it. And very often it does not happen within the time frame that we want it. Very often it does not occur within that time frame. And we are distressed by that lack of blessing within the time in which we want that blessing. Often too, sometimes we perform puja and we're doing all of the good acts, and certain disasters or difficulties or troubles beset us. And when that occurs, again, we cry out to God that I am a good person, or this individual is a good person. Why did this have to happen? And we begin to question God's wisdom. There are many explanations, karma being one of them, but I won't go into that. I want to take a different perspective this morning. There's an individual that I know who lost her son when he was at the age of 21 in a vehicular accident. That son was taken from her and from her husband. And that was a tremendous loss. Inconsolable. Later on in years, that same individual was affected by cancer. And one would think this individual who's a good person, who's a kind person, who's a giving person, why would these things have happened to that individual? And many people would have been defeated by those occurrences and by those events, but not this person. Yes, depression, yes, distress, yes, grieving, sometimes inconsolable, but that inner strength which only God can provide, that inner light within us, remained steadfast. And years now, hence that, or those events, that individual, now is a source of comfort for others who may have lost a child or a loved one. Because that person has the personal experience of what it means to lose a loved one, they can offer that advice. They can offer that suggestion. They can offer that comfort because it's personal to them, it's real. In the same way, persons who are affected by cancer, diagnosis, or treatment, and the difficulties that are associated, that individual can also offer support and comfort because she has been through what is going on. When as parents you give advice to your children, the premise of your advice is, I am older, I am more experienced, I know what I am talking about, and therefore I can offer you that advice. I remember once speaking to Swamiji about pundits and saying, is it preferable that pundits should be married or should they be celibate, like other traditions? And his answer was, let me put it this way. As a pandit or a purohit, one of the things you will have to do is interact with married couples. And every married couple would have their problems and have their difficulties. And because you yourself are a married person, you can offer advice to that couple from your experience. And how much better that advice would come from your experience than if you didn't have it at all. And that is a wonderful message and a wonderful teaching. And so I will want to conclude. Many more things could be said, but the time is upon us to say this, that when we perform puja of any kind, whether it is Satnarayan Swami Katha and Satnarayan Swami Puja, as will be done frequently in the next upcoming days and week, Lakshmi Mata Puja, we must think about why we are performing this puja. Why are we performing this puja? What is the reason that I'm sitting to perform this puja? Am I having my family sit together with me to do it? And if so, wonderful. If not, why not? Why are we not sitting as a family to perform this puja? What is the reason? Is it that I'm engaging in a negotiation, or is it that I'm simply prepared to give thanks and express gratitude for what has been blessed upon me? Even the losses, even the sickness, even the difficulty, am I prepared to say, thank you, God, for giving me this, because it makes me a stronger person? That it allows me to prepare myself for something that I may have to do in the future that I don't see now. And when we adopt an approach like that, which is steeped in divinity and in spirituality, then it feeds into every other facet of our persona. the conflict that we witness ongoing in this world right now, in this country, in this community, and sometimes within our very homes will be mitigated. We look around in our community and persons look at conflict. We look at loss of life, and we are indeed troubled by it quite rightly. We feel helpless. We see in San Fernando the rising incidents of homicide and murders, and we should be justly concerned. Right in St. Madeleine Secondary School there, we see the head of the parents' organization being very concerned that children who are coming to the school are coming with drugs hidden on their person, and they are defiant of all types of authority. And that is a concern that needs to be addressed at this stage. We look at our country and the conflict that is happening here, and the amount of murders and the amount of things that are engaged in that are of a criminal nature, of a lawless nature, throughout every strata of our society. And again, we have to be concerned. Within recent times, we see the vandalism that is occurring in places of worship. And while as Hindus we need to be concerned about what has happened at the various mandirs and at the various Ramlila grounds and so on, we must also not forget that there are other places of worship that have also been vandalized. And so those acts of vandalism are being perpetrated by persons whose minds are clouded and misguided, and they need an intervention. Globally, many persons are speaking about what is happening in the Gaza conflict. Many persons prior to that were speaking about what was happening in the Ukraine. Now the Ukraine has taken a back seat, but it's not finished there. And we are now focused on what is happening in Gaza. And that has no winner. There's no winner in conflicts like that. Everybody loses. And as soon as that realization comes, then progress would be had. Right in our backyard, we are seeing an escalating conflict between Guyana and Venezuela. So it is all over. So in the same way that Narad Muni observed the distress of mankind back then, those distresses and those conflicts are still existent today. And the advice that was offered is still relevant today. And so, brothers and sisters, as I conclude, I would invite us all to fortify ourselves through the medium of prayer and japam and meditation, the reading of Bhagavad Gita on a daily basis. And when we fortify ourselves, bring our family along as well, fortify them too. And then by extension, through our spheres of influence, we can impact our communities, our country, and elsewhere. That should be our focus. That change will happen. Maybe not as fast as we would like it to, but in preparing ourselves, we should be positive in our outlook that it will happen. We just close with prayer as we hand over for Arti. As we've offered puja to Satnarayan Swami this morning, let us meditate on his form as we conclude. Hari Om Shantakaram Bhujaga Shayanam Padmanavam Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Megavaranam Shubhagam Lakshmi Kantam Kamala Nayanam Yogi Birdya Nagamyam Bande Vishnu Bhavabhayaram Sarvaloke Kanatam. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Prem Bol Shri Satnarayan Swami ki jai. We come forward now and offer Arti as the members of the group engage in Kirtan.
वंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन
कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
वंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
अत नमत चरणन में भगवन
भक्त नमत चरणन में भगवन
कृपा करिए सेवक भय भंजन
कृपा करिए सेवक भय भंजन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
वंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
वंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन
कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन
कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन
कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
वंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
वंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन काली कमली और के आए भक्तों के भगवान रे तेरे मेरे नहीं पहचान रे काली कमली और के आए भक्तों के भगवान रे तेरे मेरे नहीं पहचान रे कैसा तूने रूप दिखाया तन लहराया मन लहराया कैसा तूने रूप दिखाया तन लहराया मन लहराया बालक तेरे गोर में आया रखना इसका मान रे तेरे मेरे नहीं पहचान रे काली कमली और के आए भक्तों के भगवान रे तेरे मेरे नहीं पहचान रे बिना हाथ के भोजन करना बिन पाँवों से चलता फिरता हाथ से भोजन करता बिन पाँवों से चलता फिरता सब कुछ सनता कुछ नहीं कहता सब कुछ सुनता कुछ नहीं कहता अब दिल तेरी मान रे तेरे मेरे
the mics up front. जय नारायण स्वामी नारायण जय नारायण जय जय नारायण नारायण हरि हरि स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि तेरी लीला सबसे न्यारी न्यारी हरि हरि तेरी लीला सबसे न्यारी न्यारी हरि हरि तेरी महिमा तेरी महिमा तेरी महिमा प्रभु है प्यारी प्यारी हरि हरि जय जय नारायण नारायण हरि हरि स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि अलग निरंजन भव भय भंजन जन मन रंजन दाता जन मन रंजन दाता हमें शरण में अपने चरण में कर अब है निर्धाता कर निर्भय जग त्राता तूने लाखों की ताया तारी तारी हरि हरि जय जय नारायण नारायण हरि हरि स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि प्रभु का नाम का परस जो चोरी लो हो जाए सोना वो हो जाए सोना दो अक्षर की सबकी घड़ी है लेकिन बड़ा सलोना लेकिन बड़ा सलोना उसने संकट की थाली भारी भारी हरि हरि जय जय नारायण नारायण हरि हरि स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि तेरी लीला सबसे प्यारी प्यारी हरि हरि तेरी लीला सबसे न्यारी न्यारी हरि हरि तेरी महिमा प्रभु है प्यारी प्यारी हरि हरि तेरी महिमा प्रभु है प्यारी प्यारी हरि हरि जय जय नारायण नारायण हरि हरि स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि जय जय नारायण नारायण हरि हरि स्वामी नारायण नारायण हरि हरि
प्रेम से बोलो श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी की जय. Before we conclude with Purnahuti and the final arti, just a few brief announcements. Once more, we want to extend a very special welcome to each and every one of you this morning who've come physically to the Mandir. Those of you who are looking on YouTube, we urge you, once you are in the country, to please attend the Mandir so that you can get that divine vibration yourselves. You could perform your puja, your arti with your own hands. Those of you who are looking on and may have young children at home, or grandchildren, or nieces or nephews, or any of the young children in your custody or care, We would urge you to have them come every Sunday for our Bal Vihar classes, which takes place here at the Mandir. This is an investment in their future, in your future, in the future of our country. So we'd really urge you to have them attend to these classes on a Sunday morning. We want to thank those of you who've made contributions to the Mandir, and those of you who would like to make contributions. It is through these contributions that the Mandir is sustained and maintained in terms of all of the things that are incurred in terms of our expenditure. So we urge you, if you would like to make donations, please see the treasurer or chairman at the back right after service, and you could do so. Again, to be reminded that our Diwali dinner takes place this evening. We are asking persons to be here, to be seated by 4:45. It is a grand evening, and as I said, it is a sold-out event. All of the tickets have been sold out, so please come early and have your seats and so on. You will enjoy wonderful modeling by the youths of the Mandir, wonderful dances by Srimati Suzan Mohip, and wonderful songs by Rana Mohip and members of his band. So it provides to be a very wonderful, very entertaining evening this evening. Come engage in that entertainment and fellowship as we celebrate together. So that's this evening. Those of you who may have outstanding ticket monies, we'd ask you to bring those in as soon as possible so that the accounting could be done within short order. You can see either Ms. Ramjit or the treasurer after the service. Finally, I want to say that on Diwali Day, which is the 12th of November, it's a Sunday, and on that Sunday morning, what we will be doing is individual Lakshmi Mata Puja. So we are asking you to come for 8 a.m. on that Sunday morning, bringing with you your Murti of Lakshmi Mata, a small bedi or altar, and the usual ingredients that are required for puja. We may have extra items here at the Mandir if you don't have all of them, so that we could assist you. I know items have been emailed via our Mandir social media, so it's on WhatsApp, and it has been posted on our email as well, so you can get that information in the entire listing. And this will be at 8 a.m. on Diwali morning. That's a Sunday, and everybody will be performing their puja and hawan that morning here before you return to your home. So those of you who would like to come and perform your puja, we are inviting you to come and to please do so. The following day, that is traditionally Govardhan Puja, and Govardhan Puja will be done on that day. Pandit Devendra will be leading the puja, and we will be starting that morning from 10 a.m. and then lunch will be served. So you have a little bit of a respite in the morning from your hectic Diwali night celebrations, and then come for 10 a.m. On Monday morning, and you would perform your Govardhan Puja, and you will have refreshments provided. A light lunch will be provided after that, so that you can all partake of. We will be journeying to Meyaru for Kartik. You'll be getting more information about that. That will be on the 26th of November, and we will be giving you more information about that, but that is on. It's on the 26th of November. Again, it's a Sunday, and we will be going to Meyaru to perform our puja on that particular morning. Finally, I want to extend thanks to my Shrota this morning, Mrs. Gokul, who recently celebrated her birthday and who sat with her family to perform puja, and she has very lovingly provided refreshments for everyone after service. So please partake of those refreshments, because it has been prepared with love before you depart the Mandir this morning. I invite you to come back forward to perform Purnahuti. I hand over to members of the group to now engage in Arti Bhajan.
हे सत्य नारायण स्वामी हमारे दुख हरो बेड़ा पार करो बेड़ा पार करो तुमको देव दया के सागर अब उद्धार करो ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम।
प्रेम से बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बिंद्रावन बिहारी लाल की जय, आज शक्ति जगदम्बा देवी मैया की जय, श्री पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। प्रेम से बोले श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी की जय, श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। चिंतन अराउंड यू सब कोई जय जय सीताराम, जय जय सीताराम। May Bhagwan bless you all. We just need a little help from some of the able-bodied persons to move the shoe racks after in anticipation of this evening's celebration. I hand back over to the group, render the birthday song before we conclude.
बार बार